Welcome back everybody. So this is gonna be a quick update video for you guys on stock market, and before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now if you want to get my daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading, and you want to support the channel, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. Welcome back, everybody. So we do have lots of earnings that is coming out next week, starting with Domino's, Hims, Zoom, Home Depot, Planet Fitness. Then we got AMC, Kaba, Lowe's, and the big one here, Nvidia, Snowflake, Salesforce. Lots of big earnings this week, and that is going to move this market. So if you want to take a screenshot, go ahead and do that. And this is going to affect the market next week. Now, with that being said, what happened on Friday? Well, it was Apex. In top of that, Michigan sentiment came out and it was really bad. Market took a massive dump off. Dow was down 1.69%, Nasdaq down 2.20%, S&P down 1.71%, and Russell going down near 3%. Here's 11 sectors that makes up S&P 500 on top. Only thing actually in the green, consumer defensive. Everything else in deep red on Friday. Starting with technology on bottom, industrials, basic materials, consumer cyclical, energy, communication services, and pretty much everything else. Now, stock market map, what do we got here? Well, Microsoft down near 2%, Nvidia down whopping 4%, and you can see all the chip names are down on Friday big time. And then we got Google down near 3%, Meta down 1.63%, Tesla down near 5%, Amazon down almost 3%, and UNH also took a big hit, down over 7%. And then we got some big names right here. Walmart down 2.5%, Home Depot down 2.37%. So all the names are pretty much down, especially big names, except some of these healthcare names. And if you look at right here, household names like PG, we got KO and Pepsi, those are up on the day. On SPY ETF, it's down 1.71%, and we got a massive bearish engulfing candle with some high volume selling on Friday. Now, does this mean market is going to just go down and crash and go to zero? I don't think so. But definitely something to note that we got massive bearish engulfing candle with some bad data and OPEX on Friday. And VIX, we saw VIX flying, and we talked about it before in my video that there is a lot of calls coming in for VIX, and there might be a short term big drop here in this market, and this is definitely what we got on Friday. Nothing unexpected, right? We kind of knew this was going to take place. We had this fake breakout. A lot of people, actually somebody commented in my video that spy in this massive triangle on a daily time frame, and we're gonna just break out to the upside. So people get extremely bullish when they see a just breakout taking place and not getting the confirmation, and then they see a massive dump off. So you don't want to do that, right? I've been talking about it in my channel that, guys, this is not where I'll be bullish and buying and going long, or even buying and swing trading, because I'm not doing anything here. I'm not gonna buy this breakout here, even if this thing goes up even higher. That is not the spot you want to be in, especially at brand new all-time high. And this is the exactly thing that I was afraid of. We get a big drop. And even on my thumbnail, you can see, beware, melt up, and then a big drop. It came out last week, and this is exactly what we got. Even on my big mega cap stocks, it said expect the unexpected, and we got that unexpected thing on Friday, which was this rug pull that actually happened. Now here on SPY, you can see we did close over 599, this red line, 50-day moving average. But below that, going into Monday's session, we might be retesting lower Bollinger Band, which is coming down. And by Monday, this thing might be here at 595. So watch out for that next support level. And then this gap comes into play right here, 585. Now to the upside, there will be resistance at 605, 20-day moving average. And if we can actually get over that, you're going to see a move and a retest of 609, and possibly can get up to 611. On triple Q, it's down over 2%, so nothing new. And you can see the same type of candle. We got a massive bearish engulfing candle. We got one here. We got some follow through. We got one here. We got follow through. And now we got another one right here in recent times. And you can see we did not close here at 527. We closed under. And now the next support will be this 50-day moving average, which is sitting close to 524. So that is going to be your line in the sand going into Monday session. But if that gives up, the next support will be down here at 520 and then 500 and right here 516 to 513 lower Bollinger Band right here on bottom. Now to the upside, there will be resistance at 527. If we can get over that, 531, 533, and then 536. On Dow Jones is down 1.72%, so big drop, and you can see lower Bollinger Band sitting at almost 439, and the ETF itself trading at 434, almost closing this gap right here at 433, which could be the case going into Monday session that we close this gap on Monday on DIA. So this is going to be a key support to watch Monday session. 432.91, so I would say 433, and you can see a rejection here also happened before, so that's going to be a strong level to watch if this thing comes down exactly down here to close this gap. Now it's getting a bit oversold, overextended to the downside. We can see a counter trend rally to close this gap and set up a lower high here, which is at 440. So going into Monday session, first level of support and key line in the sand 433. Underneath that level, it opens the door for a move down to 425 to close this massive gap. To the upside, there will be resistance right here at 437 and the gap fill reversal right here just underneath 440. On IWM, it's down almost 3%, so massive dump off right here on IWM, and this thing pretty much not even holding anywhere, getting really overextended to the downside, and we might be coming down here to close this gap. And I think we did close one gap right here that was at 220, and now there is another one near 213. Now it's getting a bit overextended, so if this thing moves back up, watch out for the resistance at 220. Over that, we might come back up and retest 225, and then we can talk about 227. Now to the downside, next big level of support will be right down here, this gap fill reversal right here, 212, 213, and then another key support will be right down here at 210 on IWM. On VIX is up over 16%, so this thing exploded on Friday. And if you look at my screen, we did call this out before. This thing is wedging right here, and somebody, like I said, was commenting about a wedge on SPY, and guess what? It actually played out completely opposite. Like I said before, that there's a lot of VIX calls coming in for March 18th, and that was a huge amount. And there was more calls coming in even later. And then we had this wedge pattern, and you can see how well that actually played out. This massive breakout took place. And whenever you see this thing sitting close to lower Bollinger Band, it's not the time to go long here in the market. And you can see every time we came down here, what happened? Well, it popped, right? Big. And now, I mean, it just one day, but you can see we went up and pretty much closed over $18. So that is definitely bullish on VIX for possibly a move up to 20 plus. So watch out for that. Unless this thing comes back, gets under 18 bucks, in that case, we might be pulling back down to 16 and then $15. On dollar, it was slightly up on the day, and you can see it's finding some strong support right here, 106.50, and it actually came back up and now up by much, but it's finding support here. That's the main key point, and it was actually green on Friday. So if we get some follow through back up to the upside here on dollar, possibly up to 107.50, that's going to put more pressure on S&P 500. So keep that in mind. You know, a rising dollar can always cause a lot of trouble for S&P 500, and this thing can spike back up as long as this thing is over 106.50. Now, what is happening here on 10-year yield? Let's have a look at before we wrap up this video. And you can see this thing was actually down. So despite TNX taking a beating on Friday, things were coming down. So it's pretty much everything that actually came down on Friday. And this thing broke a critical level, which is at 4.46, and now it could be coming down a bit more, possibly find support at 4.39 and then maybe even 4.32, unless we get a bounce and gets over 4.46 and starts to move higher like it did before. So keep an eye on this. I mean, this can also cause lots of volatility in the market if this thing spikes back up. But you can see even with that dump off, things were pulling back. So a lot of things are taking place, and especially with tariffs and what's going on with inflation, nothing is looking really good for the economy. There are people talking about where you would not know that things are actually crashing, and there is suddenly you're gonna see a massive shift in the economy, and everybody's gonna lose their job and stuff. So I don't wanna create panic out there, but that is just the case. We're seeing a lot of bad data, and especially Fed Chair Powell doing a really poor job with inflation, just like the way he let inflation, rise, and then he was late to the party raising the rates, and now what he's doing, I mean, it's not working out. I mean, Trump going one way and he's going the other way, and inflation is going and finding another way. So I mean, you guys do that math, and it's not actually a good place to be in, especially when market ignoring and shrugging off everything and hitting all-time highs. It was just a matter of time, guys, that it's gonna caught up to the market, and it did on Friday. We just have to see, just like I said, that just because we got this big red candle does not mean that market is going to zero. But we have to be careful trading next week and how we close and how things play out with Nvidia's earnings on Wednesday. That's going to be a big shift in the market, and the way Nvidia earnings are, so far came out. Every earnings they've been beating and beating the expectation and the guidance, with a huge margin, right? You can do that over and over. Your cells are not growing every day, right? They're growing slowly, but the amount it was growing before, at least the CEO was showing, he can just show the same thing over and over, and the stock moves even higher. So that is something to take place on Wednesday. He's going to come out with earnings, and we will see how that works out for the market. But that is the only thing that actually can save the market. Nvidia earnings, a beat by a massive margin, good guidance. Otherwise, I mean, Nvidia dumps, 10, 15, 20%. That's going to affect S&P 500 and Nasdaq 100. So watch out for that, guys, and I'll definitely keep you updated going into Monday night. And don't forget to hit that like button. That's the only way, actually I get that energy that I can make more videos for you guys, and I would really appreciate that. Have a great night and see you guys Monday.